Alpha One Drop Zone presents Honoring Our Veterans, a series of interviewing our military veterans. Our purpose is to reconnect our country with our veterans and our history.
Hello, my name is Steve Gonzalez, Vice President of Marketing and Community Relations for Alpha One Drop Zone. We're honored today to have another World War II veteran. His name is Lemcke. Al served with the 23rd Infantry, 2nd Infantry Division, correct? Well, first, thank you for your service.
You bet. Al. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
I know we visited earlier, and I noticed when you told me your age, you must have been pretty young when you went in the military. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I'm going 18 since I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so but I guess that's young for me.
Yes, it was. It was. So being in the infantry, of course, that put you in the front lines. Is that right?
Right.
How long were you there? How long were you on the front lines?
Probably over a year, I know, a year and a half. Let's see. Yes. Probably a year. Mm-hmm. I'll say a year and a half maybe, but no. I think that's stretching. Probably a year.
And you were in Europe, so you started...
I started in France.
Okay.
Yeah, we started in France in the sunken France. What they call those? The second dugout trenches? No. Anyhow, I started there in France, and what do they call the farms? The dugout? Sunken, like a zone like you got here for a farmer in Wichita, like an acre of ground. They had sunken ground, trenches on each side. So anyhow, we went from hedgerow to hedgerow, yeah. So hedgerow fighting they call it, but went all through that, hedgerow to hedgerow with tanks. That was quite an experience. I had to, you had to direct the tanks because they couldn't see, they were blind. They'd come to these hedgerow fighting, and they'd go through and they'd get up on top and stop. Well, the Germans just blowed them off the top. So anyhow, they went down, got all big things put on the front, busted those hedgerows, went right through them. Yeah, I was with them and clearing we got on the outskirts of the hedgerow fighting in France and met up with Patton, and him and his tanks were heading east, Germany. But they took us and took our outfit and sent us back to the port of Brest. The port of Brest, France, which was held by the German Navy. Well, of course, we wanted it for the American Navy. So we went to the, over to Port of Brest, France, and fought there for quite some time. And that's the first time I got wounded, was at the Port of Brest. I wasn't in there too long. In fact, it was sort of funny. When I went in, of course, I operated on the neck. I got hit behind this left ear. I got hit in the neck. They operated on me and put me on a cot. I thought it was the next day I woke up and looked around, and I thought this nurse was there. So I hollered at her to come over there, and I said, "Boy, how long have I been asleep?" And she says, 2 days. I says, 2 days? You have not woke up for 2 days. I said, I'll be darned. So anyhow, she said that, they had me do this and that, and I ate. But I stayed there for about 3 or 4 days. They come in, I still had a big bandage on my head. They come in and said, well, we're sorry. to tell you this, but we're gonna send you back up to your division. I said, okay. Said they needed personnel bad. They're in the Port of Brest now, so they took me up and I went with our outfit into the Port of Brest, and then we took the Port of Brest, France, and took it away from the German Navy, and of course we got in camp. So then we took us, after a few days, they took us back, and we loaded on old trains. They took us back east to the front lines, which is close to Belgium, and we turned us loose hands. So that way we went into Belgium, Germany. Winter was there then. Snowed really bad. So yeah, from then it was sort of get up and go and stay put, lots of snow and cold. So we sort of stayed put right on the German, Belgian border. Not too far from Malmedy, I know. And anyhow, I was there for quite some time.
You know how we visited last week, excuse me, and you had mentioned about at this particular day, you was on a ridge, and I guess in the valley, there was a lot of Germans.
Oh yeah, that was a little later when the Germans broke through our front lines. I don't remember the exact infantry's name. They broke through them and headed down this valley. Where we were in the valley, we was way up on a hill and looked down this valley, down to the railroad tracks, and it was a big valley. And we stayed up in this top, looking down in the valley, and watched the Germans go through there. The Germans had broke through, and they were going down, there was a railroad track there, but they were going down this marching and tanks, everything they had was going down this valley. So they pulled us up here, pulled us over, we looked right down at them, tanks and all. We looked down at them, we watched them for days go through there, wouldn't let us fire. Would not let us fire around. So we sat there for days, watched them Germans go up that heading somewhere.
So they stayed in the valley the whole time?
No, they stayed down there.
In the valley?
Yeah, they said we wasn't allowed to make any rash movements, like we're going to fire, like we're going to do anything. We could not fire a weapon. I had a tank pulling right next to me very far, not too far from him. He sat there too, dug in and had his tank pointed right down in that valley, wouldn't let him fire. So, but I told him, I said, I went over and talked to that tanker once, and I said, I don't like to be around you because you guys draw fire. You draw fire, and I don't like to be around that. So he said, well, nobody's firing now. And I said, well, that's true, but one of these days, maybe. But I will tell you, they kept going. One afternoon, we had a little meeting. Of course, I was sergeant. They called on me to come up, and I sat in on the meeting and said, we're moving out tonight. So nobody can see us. Everybody be quiet as you can, blah, blah, blah. So anyhow, we did. They come and got us that night. Our whole outfit moved us. Where they took us, it was dark, I don't know. But they took us way up in the front. Somewhere where all this started, the Germans broke through. We went back up in there and sealed that whole place up in there with the 2nd Division, sealed it all. Because they knew what was going to happen, I didn't. But I kept thinking, well, why are they letting those Germans go up that valley for? Nobody fired. Well, they had a good reason. They got them up in there. The Germans run out of gas. They didn't have enough fuel. We trapped them. we had it right there. And that's what they wanted. So, but, then it all came back down to where I was at, where the Germans had broke through, got all that covered, and we went on over to Germany.
Now, you were a platoon leader, is that correct? You made the rank of staff, tech sergeant? Is that right now?
I was tech sergeant, but in unfamiliar ways, with me anyhow, I was busted down to a regular sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So, just one of them things. And
Sure.
so anyhow,
So you were wounded a second time, right, in Germany?
yes. Anyhow, I was in Germany over there, and anyhow, there was an old house, just more or less what you'd call across the street or from us. And so I took one of my men with me, and I said, let's go to that old house. So I put him down on the first floor, and I went to the top, and we looked way over there, and you could see the Germans. You could see them. And so we trapped them pretty good, firing at them, this and that. But which was a bad thing, because they knew exactly where we were at. And that's when we got it, him and I both got it. They fired on there, blew that house up with us with it. So then I went back to the hospital, and anyhow, I ended up after I went to the hospital in 2 or 3 different places, and then I ended up in Paris, France. And that's where I was at when the war ended. So, it wasn't too far from, Berlin, and then we were up in Germany. But anyhow, so I got taken out of the 2nd Division. I got taken out of any front row, front rank people fighting. And so they put me back in. They had a bunch of us tankers, paratroopers, infantry people that was wounded and shot up, and they wouldn't let us fight no more. So we sort of was back watching what's going on and doing this and that, taking charge and different things. And as the war ended and everything, why, we were sent to Kassel, Germany. There's a big air base up there, and we took it over, and part of us crew that was sent up there too. We was all a bunch of old has-beens, from the paratroopers and the tankers and the infantry. Anyhow, we got sent to Kassel, Germany. That's where I was at for probably a year. So, and then they put out this, if you got enough points, you go home. Well, I had way more than enough points. I was one of the first ones home. So, yeah.
So how did the war change your life?
How did what?
How did it change your life going to war?
Well, I think it changed my life. I know one thing. I listened to people then. I was a young teenager when I went in. And you got your own ideas and thoughts and how to do this and that. And you don't listen. You don't really do what you're supposed to do. The Army taught me a lot. You pay attention, listen, you'll get further. If you pay attention and listen and see what's going on, you'll get further. So, and it changed my life. I got married, had a child, and maybe they told me later, even my wife and someone said, you're too strict with that child. I said, I'm too strict? They said, yeah, the Army has made you strict. When you say something, you want somebody to listen. And you're telling that child you're on him. So I backed off all that, and I finally got my life straightened out. But I was, I was making people listen to me for a while, and I was real downhearted on people that didn't go or couldn't go or something else, but it all worked out.
Well, good. Unbelievable story. Front lines, year and a half. I mean, God wanted you to come back safe and sound, needless to say.
Yeah.
So I'm amazed at some of our World War II veterans, that live here in Wichita. There's quite a few of them.
Oh, I bet. They tell stories too.
Right. We've been interviewing other World War II veterans, and we'll continue to do that.
Yes.
But we want to thank you today. Thank you for
You
your
bet.
service again now.
I really appreciate
And
it.
God bless you, and we want other people to hear your story, and the youth who want to be connected.
Well, I appreciate it. There's a lot more to it, but, that's more or less what I've done when I went in. And I've done a lot of other things, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Al.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that very much.